아이고. 뭐 해야 되지? 아, 음악실 가라고?
Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage.
아, 잘 짓는다. 아유, 포엠
Eavesdrop
잘한다.
what the stars are saying. Earthly tether, slowly fraying, floating helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet. That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects. Always thought that would be kind of cool, but it's just tedious.
자기 자신에
Falls a
대해서는
little short,
시상이
doesn't it?
안 떠오르나 봐.
There's something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
From what we could tell, the blade went in at an exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body, and there's only one small pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands, or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
Mm-hmm. 3 pointers and 5 fellows. 4 fellows.
What's the connection between them?
There isn't one. Not really. It was all built by the Remington family. Flora's a Remington, originally. So was Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers, and Flora married into the Fellows.
So the fellows and the pointers own the house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my
아,
mother
여긴
left.
족보가 너무 복잡해.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
너무 복잡한데?
Do you know where those earmuffs came from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. I think they belonged to Fitz. I put them on the statue so he'd see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the recording studio with his guitar. No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
Where?
I don't know, in a hallway. Can't remember exactly.
그 딱정벌레 소리 안 들으려고 귀이게 쓴 건가?
Those pedals.
What about them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual.
unusual. 이거에
You
대해서
get some
아십니까?
weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously.
Obviously.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic. I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet. I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
그럼
Does
그럼.
Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective. I think everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it in front of your bed?
Maybe she wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can make it easier to deal with. Well, sometimes.
이거에 대해서 아십니까?
Don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, My room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like... Please stop talking to me.
그럴 리가 없는데. 아니 이 무슨
belongs to Flora, I
로켓단
think.
못 알아보는 지우 마냥.
Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff. Freya would always load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out and focus on the actual painting itself. Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do. When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife, with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
아니야,
But
너
it was blood on the
짱이야.
tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything. What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh. Is that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh. How nice.
How nice.
Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
도전 과제 달성할 줄 알았는데.
Oh, whatever it is, it's...
Well, it is. The music's gotta practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
됐다. 도전 과제 달성했다.
It's one of those big pianos,
Don't touch
why
it.
not?
Might be haunted.
Who plays the violin?
It's pretty. So I'm guessing nobody.
음악이 흐르는.
One.
Yep.
25.
Mhm.
4.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem? There's a...
When I was a kid.
You still
No. Smells like a forest.
어떻게 해야 되지?
All right.
Spooky murder mansion.
Spooky murder mansion. That's...
What else would it be? Smells like a...
Are they...
Whatever they are. It's like a little parade of floating.
sheet music?
That's a lot of
Probably while they're on the floor.
소리 무슨 소리가 났다고? 음악실에서? 피아노 소리? 피아노 소리랑 익명님 안녕하세요. 이거 하셨어요? 뭔 소리가 들리는다는데 무슨 소리 얘기하는 거지?
All right, spooky murder mansion.
Smells like a... Smells...
새 이야기하는 건가? 새 소리?
Smells like a...
No 하진 않았다고요? 그러면 방송 보지 마세요. 스포예요.
Smells like a fork. It's a globe.
For globing. All right,
Spooky
murder mansion. All right,
Spooky
murder mansion.
난 못 찾겠다. 음악실에서 무슨 멜로디가 들리는데? 난 모르겠어. 감독님 불러야겠다고?
They're bird cages.
But the birds.
that a
Oh,
mouth?
it totally is.
Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused
Rude
me of
to
being,
me.
what was it? A shallow sensationalist.
Shiro,
No, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
피피한테도 지분이
Less, to
있다던데.
be perfectly honest.
딴따라따라.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know
How
who this
she
is
looks
in the
now.
photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
아 누가 봐도 뽀삐잖아.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I. Rhea, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Is that for sewing?
So
Maybe.
We have no idea.
지루해 지루.
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
자기는 빨간색 머리 하고 있으면서.
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
피피도 멀쩡한 거 봐.
I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
뭘 해야 되지? 이렇게 막힐지 몰랐군.
Percival Pointer. Good old. So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't
Murderer?
know. Maybe. We still need.
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot
Keep
of
an eye
bitterness,
on
does old
him.
Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival. Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger, always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
퓨타일. 어른들은 다 안
My
된다고
daughter
하네.
Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
아, 애칭이구나.
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective, good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still,
Not so much.
Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You
이게
mean to say you're
도전과제에
bound by
있더라고,
the
사건
limits
파일
of what's
보는 게.
written in this little document? Sounds
도전
great.
과제를
I found it
고칠 수
comforting.
없지.
My daughter Fiona and her best friend. They grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
Ah, yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
이거에 대해서 아시나요?
What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold. What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they?
일단은 모든 사람들한테 감개를 보여주자.
The outline of... There's a single patch of blood. No real...
That's weird.
What?
Her feet were right up by the candle.
So?
So she was...
Let's check the case file again. Half the root...
I don't know if it's the sudden absence of...
아직도 말을 안 하실 건가요?
We met Felix, your husband. He's one of our suspects, and he seems pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him, now's your chance.
Nice try.
Nice try.
We spoke to your daughter, Fifi. She's some kind of super intelligent scientist. You must be proud of her.
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know. Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker.
Shocker.
Grimoire, what could you possibly be writing down?
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago. Now I'm just doodling in the margins. You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
저기에서 보여지던데.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
황금
Do you
딱정벌레
know anything
아시나요?
about this beetle?
Do you know
감개는?
what this is?
뭐 말을 안
Guess
하니.
not.
아, 뭔 얘기를 해야지 말을 하지?
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
깃털이라고 말하세요. 아무 말도 안 해. 미치겠어 진짜. 와, 대부분의 증거품을 말을 안 하시는구나. 빨리 넘어가서 좋긴 하다.
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
아씨, 나도 눌러봐야지. 좋네, 말 안 해서. 빨리 스캠할 수 있고.
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
It's a little model of you. Who were the other people next to you? What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you have any hobbies? This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter? Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
I really thought she was gonna say something there.
그니까 이 새는 키우셨다며요. 저기요, 저희가 다 알고 왔거든요. 새를
Do you recognize
키우셨다며요.
any of these feathers?
그 깃털 보관했다며요.
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
General? 단단단단단단. 아, 다 눌러봤다. 빨리빨리 끝내서 좋네.
Where's that light coming?
There's a decent gap between them. Is that what I think it is?
여기 으스스. 스푸키. 읍스. 피피. 피피한텐 대부분
I
말은
require facts. What do you know?
We know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which, as a mere abstract representation, does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a
아,
knife.
자꾸 그렇게 사회성 없이 얘기할래?
What a
친구야?
mess. Penelope should tidy up
귀여우니까
after herself.
용서해준다.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands.
My argument.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. I am scared of birds.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh,
새
It is a
무서운
flower.
사람 종종 있지.
It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what. Who is this her to whom the message refers?
well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next!
Next.
I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever.
프레야한테 무슨 일이 있었던 걸까?
It's a garden, I think. Ready when you are.
핵사. 당신의 도움이 필요해요. 아, 별로 쓸모 없긴 하겠다. 아, 아니 음악실에서 포피의 방을 살펴봐야 된다고? 놓친 거 있나?
What's that big book?
Looks like
Is it a
something.
clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiome.
아, 이거.
Fifi's got
What
some.
is all this?
Arrows connecting all the different.
They're not labeled.
Yeah, they're completely meaningless. Is Fifi?
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
Is Fifi?
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
That's
What?
useless.
I do not. Do I?
That's gotta be Flora. Is that supposed?
That's just the face you make. Does make you wonder, though.
I think that's supposed to be Felix. I think that's supposed to be.
It's Detective Hawkshaw. It's... Looks like Fitz.
Looks like Professor Pointer.
It's a drawing of Penny.
Is Fifi?
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
Is Fifi?
Maybe. Did you ever try that?
이거를 캡처를.
Did you notice who?
Freya?
Mm-hmm. We already solved it. Scientific problem. I'll openly admit I am. What's that? big
Looks like
book?
something. It's just a bunch of notes about
It's a
how
magazine.
come
Should I
you
start?
couldn't pull off a button. Homemade posters. This one's about
I've not heard of that band. Are they? That's a whole. A news. Don't think you can save it for the judge.
귀여워.
boxes of stuff.
Boxes.
Boxes of stuff.
풀리지 않았던 게 여기였나? 뭐였다. 나 이렇게 그거 찾아야 되나?
Is that an envelope?
It's
Isn't
no,
that-
definitely.
나 이렇게 소리 찾아야 되나? 종, 입, 피아노, 새? 피아노 누르면 되나?
It's one of those big
Don't touch
why
it.
not.
Might be haunted.
It's one of those
Don't
big
touch
why
it.
not.
Might be haunted.
얘 방으로 가야 되나?
There's an, you know, we already solved it.
메트로놈 이미 풀었는데. 호수 가장자리에서 멜로디가 들린다고? 여기가 호수였나? 어디가 호수였지? 이거 얘기하는 건가? 호수는 여기가 아닌데? 호수 뭐를 호수라고 불렀지? 이거였나? 이거?
What?
Wind chimes silent. Wooden wind chime.
이게 멜로디 아니야?
What?
Wind chimes silent. Wooden.
It's a
It's
little.
not a comforting thought.
아, 새소리. 학사와 얘기해야 해. 뭘 얘기해야 돼? 다른 힌트 없어? 음악실에서 무슨 피아노 소리 아니야? 피아노 소리 어떻게 수집하는데? 뭐 눌러야 되는데? 딴딴딴 이거
It's one of
누르면
those
안 되는
why
거야?
not?
Might be haunted.
It's one
Don't
of
touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
난다. 이걸 고쳐야 되나?
Oh, whatever it is.
All it is, gotta
What's
practice.
with all the broken glass?
이거를 해결을 해야 되나? 근데 막혔을 때 이렇게 가이드 주는 게 좋긴 하다. 뭘 더 얘기해 볼까요? 그냥 다 눌러봐야겠다.
A somewhat cumbersome device, and
Cumbersome
an altogether
device.
inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
여자한테
I
친절한
like
셀리.
anything.
What a cop-out.
뭐야 미쿠미쿠니 시테야게를 이런 거만 안 들으면 되죠.
I
아니.
believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last. Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
The paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know
Paint is
Freya was in the
still
middle of
wet.
painting when she was killed.
Do you know that?
Do
How?
you know that?
Because you were told?
Because you're told.
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close
아 맞다 이거
investigation work.
얘 거구나.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangled Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
프로세요.
The
프로.
people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it
언니.
produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible
Material
purpose,
and
other than
I am a
financial gain?
material girl.
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stones straight from the earth? These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
언니
I
귀여워.
admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just
we?
wanted it for reference. A photograph of Freya could be important.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others anyway.
그러게. 기억력도 되게 좋다.
I'd tell him not to quit his day job. But he hasn't got one, has he?
막 매기네.
There's something about Hawkshaw's something.
Let's ask her about it.
가보자고.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense. If you knew what my client had asked me to find.
딱정벌레
Of course, I still have no
조사하는 거
intention of
아니었을까?
disclosing that information.
You're
조금만일까?
such a tease, Hawkshaw.
모두가
Don't worry. We
딱정벌레를
already worked out what
위해
you're searching for.
여기를 불러온 거 아니었을까?
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So,
Yes.
that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you
도대체
can
이놈의
understand the logic
딱정벌레가
of it.
뭔데?
The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him.
피츠도
but didn't actually
딱정벌레를
search the
알고
greenhouse.
있고 프레아도
He's
알고
not exactly the
있고
type to
교수도
appreciate
알고
subtlety.
있고
He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
이거 현미경 아닌 거 아니야?
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some
아닌가
kind of
보다.
expert on microscopes.
진짜네? 어허. 가짜 유리 렌즈, 망원 렌즈, 현미경 렌즈. 잘 모르겠는데. 만들어진 건 원석 때문이 아닐까?
The hand. Nope.
Nope. 원석이 아니구나. 그러면 가짜 유리 렌즈가 아니라 망원 렌즈려나? 망원 렌즈네. 그러면 1부는? 학사에 따르면? 피피에 따르면? 아 맞아, 피피가 저 말을
handheld
했었지.
microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it.
Lied about
I'm
it.
inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Aksha, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you
갑자기?
aspire to become?
갑자기?
A detective, naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
wanted to be an
셀리 너무
astronomer.
좋아.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider
어울려요
universe.
언니.
A
지금이라도
fool's
늦지
errand, to be
않았어요.
sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me, and so I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
멋있네.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment.
아이고,
I had
졸지의
hoped to
클라이언트를
make sign
밝혀버렸네?
an extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated.
아하, 진짜
My lead suspect
탱글타워다.
is your murder victim.
멀덜 케이스가 있고 또 딱정벌레 분실 케이스가 있고 정신이 하나도 없네. 정말 탱글타워다. 그러니까 음악실에서 멜로디 어떻게 캐오는 건데. 포피 방 살펴봤는데. 플로라의 탑에서 무슨 멜로디를 듣지 않았어? 이거? 헉! 틀을 수 있구나.
It's piano music.
아. 이거는 뭘까?
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune. There's something about that something.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
가자 가자.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was
누가
painting,
봐도
you know.
And do
다
you know what kind of
당신
music is on this
거잖아.
tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure, it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
뭔 소리예요?
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue
We
to
are
compare with the cassette tape.
ridiculous.
Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
아, 역전재판 하는 것 같아. 짜잔.
Let's take a closer look at this.
이게 포피의 방에서 찾았지? 정원이 아니었는데.
The message? Nope.
Nope. 포피 방인가 보다.
The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player that was found in Poppy's room. Almost.
Almost. 뭐가 잘못됐어? 이거?
The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used
나
by
이거
Poppy in this
했었던 것
old
같은데.
photo.
포피가 아니라 피피라고 잘못 눌렀나?
That is not me.
Yeah, it is. I'll prove it.
어떻게 해야 되는 건데? 아, 사진. 짜잔.
You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends. Why'd you tear it up? And then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward.
더 이상 그렇게
Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it.
그냥 싫어하는
Makes this whole thing seem
수준이야?
kind of
진짜?
irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Hold on.
너네 아직
This means that
19살이야.
pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
그랬군.
Sheet music.
That's a lot of notes.
Probably while they're on the floor. Sheet music.
That's a lot.
Probably while they're on the floor. Sheet
그나저나
music.
That's a lot.
Probably while they're on the floor.
저기
Sheet.
That's a
Probably
lot.
while they're on the floor. Alright,
Spooky.
spooky murder mansion. Alright,
Spooky.
spooky murder mansion.
그렇군. 음악실에 멜로디 이거 어떻게 해결하는데? 난 모르겠어.
Just a bunch of nothing weird about
to
that.
you.
There's a name.
More handwritten sheet music. More handwritten sheet music. More handwritten sheet music. More handwritten sheet music.
이거?
Sheet music.
It's only a few notes.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
아, 이거 마지막 증거품이다. 아씨, 내가 이걸 못 찾았네. 아, 싸싸싸싸싸라라라. Please. 부탁드립니다.
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
멋있다. 이거 맨 처음에 타워 들어갔을 때 벨소리랑 좀 비슷한 것 같은데 아닌가? 내가 음치일 수도.
Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No. We found it in Penny's room.
Right.
아닐 수도.
Yeah, it's mine.
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her.
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
So, what do
Should we go back to the gardens again?
정원으로 가요. 강아지, 꽃게, 사람?
Let's try this again.
이렇게 하면 맞나?
You know, I think we might be able to solve.
나
I'm
다시
sure we can
봐야겠다.
solve this now.
나 다시 봐야겠다. 근데 잘못 봤네. 자, 초인종 강아지, 꽃게 콧노래, 피아노 새소리 사람.
Let's try this again.
이렇게 하면 되는 거 아니야?
Nope.
아, 좀 모양이 다른가? 아. 이거랑 똑같은 모양 찾으라고?
Nope.
아니네.
That's got.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait. Do you hear that?
뭐 이런.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
다운. 오. 들어오면 안 되는 곳에 들어와 버렸다. 지하. 너무 위험한데?
What's in
비를.
there? It's a little diagram of a beetle.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles.
Poor little
Now,
guys.
there's a bunch of notes where it's mostly numbers. No idea. 9 beetles. Now, there's a bunch mostly numbers. 9. Now, there's it's mostly numbers.
Forensic and
That's an incredibly specific.
bugs.
Looks like they're made of metal.
This place would never pass. Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking
I'm
safe.
pretty sure the latch is
걸쇠를
confined to the
중앙으로
middle.
움직일 수 있다고? 대각선으로. 아하. I got it. 몰라, 일단 다 펼쳐놔. 정신 사납게. 어린 날의 지겨워. 이렇게 이어지면 안 되는데. 안 되는데. 좋아. 이렇게 가서 이렇게 돼서 이렇게 와서 이렇게 가서 조금 무리려나. 여기가 아닌가? 이게 아닌가? 이렇게 내려와야 되나? 내려와서 내려. 오케이, 요거다.
I got it.
I'm impressed. Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
고유의 동식물은 알려지지 않은 화학물질의 부산물이다. 구름을 형성하고 호수를 채운다. 돌연변이를 일으키고 작은 생물이 가장 큰 영향을 받는다. 그래서 결국에 새와 파충류에게도 돌연변이를 일으킬 수 있다. 포유류는 완전 영향권 외다.
Whose
오호.
research is this?
Rows of plants. Growing.
What color is the soil?
It looks black, but it's too dark. A candle.
Very medieval.
I was thinking
Medieval pirates.
chemistry apparatus. It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Thirsty?
It looks like that the liquid is ice cold. A cracked glass tank. Each one has one or two insects.
I like that you called them rooms.
Hand-drawn entomology charts.
조사할 거 다 조사했나?
Is that a lab coat?
Warning, hand wash only. Size, small.
스몰?
It's a hatch.
But we're already...
Depends on your perspective.
Let's not go. We still haven't explored this room properly.
내가 뭘 더 조사해야 돼?
Forensic entomology.
That's an incredibly specific...
What a mess.
Any idea what this is all about?
재밌다.
This looks like it was
피피
drawn.
Didn't we see those same symbols in the greenhouse?
온실에도 있고 피피 거기에도 있지 않나?
Reminds me of
The one from the chalkboard.
Yeah. Is that a period?
No, but it does kind of look like
What
one.
are those symbols?
They're alchemic symbols, mostly based on the planets, the
나
sun,
이런 거
moon,
몰라.
stuff like that.
Huh. Is that a period?
No, but they're alchemic
Mostly.
symbols.
Huh. This
Didn't we see those same?
reminds
the
me.
one from-
Yeah.
도전 과제.
But
Depends.
we still
잘정했다.
haven't explored.
This
비밀
is some
실험실.
seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
섹션 미싱. 황금 닭정벌레. 그치. 짜잔.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who is he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
진짜 재밌다. 천문학자인 척하면서 가장 원래 꼭대기에 연구실이 있는 척하는데 사실은 본인의 연구가 이 성의 최고 아래층에 있다는 사실이 재밌네. 번식시키려고 했다? 얼룩새겠지? 아니 황금 닭정벌레?
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive.
맞아,
I
프리아는
reckon she knew what
똑똑해.
was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
가자. 지하가 또 있어. 지하에 지하가. 여기서 뭔가 많은 것들을 얻기를.
It's an old coat rack. Looks
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
old
How
cardboard.
exciting.
Oh, but they're also damp and empty.
Gives off kind of a
What do people actually use?
Nothing good.
여기 완전 물 아래 있는 데구나. 호수
Do
아래.
these puddles?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point.
Old cardboard.
exciting.
They're also and empty. A single book.
This is creeping me out.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Children's book. 하늘과 바다의 미스티드, 얼룩새, 은뱀, 영혼 전달자. 영혼 전달자가 얘구나. 영혼 전달자 우리 알고 있지. 어디 있더라? 비밀 일기장 맞아. 그 그림을 찢어버려야겠다. 영혼 전달자는 성공이다. 내게 2개가 필요하다. 중앙으로 가는 게 하프랑 비교하면 굉장히 단순했다.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can
Let me
read it.
guess. Blank.
오!
The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in there?
I think it's that big glass tube.
그러게.
So, the
Apparently.
music room. It's the aviary. The rooftop. That name makes a little more sense. Storage.
It's Freya's. The library.
That's the lake, right? I think that
It used to be a lot lower down than it is now.
That's the room where it's not labeled as
I
any...
think it already existed when this was made. It's the room above us.
The laboratory?
Yeah. The Grand Hall.
What's that thing?
I think it's that big glass. The Grand Hall.
What's that thing?
I think it's that big.
So, the whole house is built...
Apparently. A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room. The library.
Misted Mansion. Is it not Tangle Tower?
그러네? 미스티즈 저택이라고 돼 있네.
Tangle Tower. Before the towers?
Hold on. Have we been to all of these rooms already?
어디를 안 가봤지? 연구실?
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
그러게.
This seems...
Grade.
연구실이라고 적혀있는 방이 그 일기장에 있는 방일
We're too
텐데.
late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
금속 막대. 시계바늘. 시계바늘인데? 요 시계바늘이 흉기겠네. 그 저기 돌을 무슨 밧줄이랑 연결되어 있는 걸로
So what's
보이죠?
the photo?
오.
Do you know who it is in the photo?
It's an empty book.
Something tells me it's been empty for a long time.
A single
This
book.
is creepy.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
A bunch of picture frames.
It's not too dark. The frames are all empty. This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
이거? 아. 아.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
나 족보 안 보고 왔는데 찍어야 되나?
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah,
찍었는데
it's her.
맞았다.
See the bird too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
셀리.
Basements don't normally...
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's
Like
white,
what?
no plants, no anything, it's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a
그러네.
room with one
생각해보니까.
candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late. Let's head back up. I want to find that last room.
나도 찾고 싶어. 찾았네. 그랜드 홀.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
분위기가 갑자기.
The family tree. I can just about...
그러네. 봐봐. 프레야.
Freya Feller.
Murder victim.
She's barely related to the main family.
Lord Fellow.
Looks like he was-
Scandal.
Lady
Do
Feller?
these people not have first names?
Felicia,
Freya's mother.
I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
Poppy Pointer. We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Fiona, we met her.
얘네가
She's
괜히
one of the
메인인 게 아니구나. 그러니까 플로라
We met
레밍턴
her. She's one of the suspects.
민턴의 아빠 이 사람.
Lady Remington.
I think I have one of those in my book.
요 사람.
Lord Remington.
He sounds important.
그니까 얘랑 결혼해서 플로라 레밍턴이랑
Primrose. I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
이건 또 뭐야?
Richard.
The one and only. Felix Fellow.
We met him. He's one of the suspects.
조금 알듯 말듯 하는군.
Penelope Pointer. We met her. She's one of the suspects. Percival Pointer.
Professor. We met him. He's one of the suspects.
무섭다. 어두워가지고.
This must be it.
How are we supposed to get?
Hang on. It's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
눌러봐. 와, 드디어 비밀의 방에. 숨겨진 심장부. 도전 과제 달성했다. 비밀.
Dragon?
Snake.
Worm?
That's the one.
개다.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent
얘가
exoskeleton.
영혼
You can actually see
전달자인가?
its
그거.
insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3. Good.
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
어떻게 해야 돼? 소리 좋아. 어떻게 맞춰야 돼?
I guess
I
that's...
don't think we need to
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
아, 우리 케이스 파일
This
봐야
crab
돼.
really
That little
reminds.
one.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going. I think I've seen it more recently.
나무 장난감? 이거? 얘랑 똑같은 모양으로 만들면 되나? 아래로 하고 이렇게 이렇게.
Is that a crab?
It's got
Also, crabs...
아래로.
I guess...
I don't think we need.
What do you
We
mean?
have all the information we need.
이런 모양 아니었나? 집게발? 무슨 모양이었지?
This crab really.
But
Yeah, but I think I've seen it more recently.
요대로. 오케이.
Is that a crab?
It's got a.
Also, crabs no...
요거다.
Perfect. What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
와, 이게 뭐야? 이거 흉기인가 보다. 흉기. 그걸로 쌌네. 화살로 쌌네.
is it?
Some kind of
If
fish.
that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it?
Those aren't birds.
Some of them are...
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing? Centipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many. An axe and some kind of hunting.
Honestly, doesn't look like
I'm more worried about the third one.
the third one.
The one that isn't there.
그러네, 석궁.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
새 깃털이다.
Coffee table, I'm gonna say...
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
5번째 대표자를 찾았다. 내 미스티드 친구를 이런 음악실로 데려갔다. 때가 왔다. 뭐 이것도 뭐 인신 가문에 내려온 저주 인신 그런 스토리니?
Crumpled up.
Is there anything written
Not
on it?
really. It's mostly black. It's a wooden pin hung up on one of
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
핵사네.
Someone's been using this room. You know, in any normal room. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3. They call this
What would you call it?
the Seat of Doom.
Do those look like
Yeah, they're on the inside.
그러게.
Who are all the
Not sure. But our eyes have all been crossed out.
이게 그 조각상에 있던 애네.
That photo is important. Those aren't.
Some of them are...
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing? I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
이건가? 아니. 막 갖다 놓고 있어.
That doesn't
We
seem
need
like
something
미안해.
that could attack.
That's not right. We're looking for a
I
piece.
think it might have been found with a...
뭐라고? 우리 찾았던
That's
거야?
not right. We're looking for a piece of lined paper.
I
Written.
think it might have been found with
이거였나? 아닌데 줄 그어져 있던 게 뭐였지? 뭐였지? 줄 그어져 있던 거. 그거 아니고.
That's not right. We're looking for a
I
piece.
think it might have been found with a...
일기장. 나 왜 모르겠지? 줄 그어져 있었던 게 뭐더라? 잠깐 쭉 보자. 맞네.
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else, someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangled Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
이미 찾았잖아.
We found them already.
이게 감개겠지?
I think that might not this part. I think that might not this part.
잠깐만. 렌즈인가? 아 맞다. 그리고 감개를 딱 감아버리고. 짜잔. 석궁 완성.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
살인.
Time to solve this.
벌써?
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
위에서 쐈겠지.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
그러게.
Unless...
프리아가 이미 누워있는 상태였다면? 대각선으로 발사했다면? 누워있는 상태였다면?
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
의식이 없었다면?
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
축음기 물감 냄새. 난 사실 물감이 좀 의심스럽긴 했는데 항상.
Paint fumes.
I'm not sure about that.
아니야?
Me neither.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
축음기? 플로라?
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
재생되던 음악? 아니 안에 뭐가
There was something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
딱정벌레?
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself.
Not
But
by
don't forget,
itself.
it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a
그래서
particular
나는
type of frequency.
그
This is getting kinda scientific.
저기
Since when do you
동상에
know anything about the effects of
써있던
weaponized audio frequency?
I don't.
귀마개라고
But I
해야
think
되나?
someone else
그거를
does.
범행에
Remember that
썼다고
statue we
생각을 해.
found in the music room?
그래.
The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
영향을 받았던 것. 그러니까 이거 얘기하는 거 아닌가? 루트 동상?
That's not it.
아니야? 또 깨졌던 게 있나? 아, 금이 간 케이크인가?
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration, enough to crack metal, enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
자기를 보호했지.
They protected themselves.
How?
그래. 내가 말했잖아.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
그러게.
Yeah. What triggered it? At
그러게.
that particular moment. Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
Shoo.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
사람들 다 자나 보다. 뭘 확인해야 되지?
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
축은기?
I can see the stars. The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Look.
타춤 아미카의 열매만을 먹는다.
The plants.
What?
Look.
그렇구나. 호호.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
그거 제 더미에 있었는데.
You found it somewhere else.
여기요.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
알에
Inside
남겨뒀대.
Flora's egg.
You think so?
Maybe not.
아니야?
Freya left it for us
미안해.
right here.
끝내지 못한
It's
그림에.
in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, and then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
이거?
That's not it.
이거?
That's not it. That's not it.
다 막 찍어보고 있어.
That's not it. That's not it.
프리안 자기가 그릴 그림의 계획을 메모판이요.
That's not it.
아닌가요? 그런 노트요. 아닌가요?
That's not it.
어린이 책이요.
That's not it.
다 틀리고 있어.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
하나씩 다 해봐.
That's not it.
하나씩 다
That's not
해봅시다.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before
맞다.
she started painting.
맞다. 아차차 까먹고 있었다. 화분 식물이 중요할 것 같은데. 얼룩새가 털어진
Blood on the brush. Nope.
Nope. 다 틀렸다. 이거 같은데? 아니구나. 이 스케치?
Paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
그 노랑새?
The window.
노랑새 노랑새. 이 친구? 얘가 이름이 뭐더라?
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did, but she's a very good listener.
무서워.
Well, now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
일단
I'm
두자.
afraid I have to insist. It's to the benefit of us all, I assure you.
감개?
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
I just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you?
Hour?
Only a few short hours at 탱글타워, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed, unearthed every single one of our secrets, nothing but bullet points for your notebook.
되게
Go on,
범죄자들이
indulge me.
하는
What does it say in your notes
말투다.
about Penelope Pointer?
니들은 모르지? 약간 이런 식으로. 뭐 살인자죠.
Suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at 탱글타워, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a 탱글타워 thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy. Not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall,
네,
did you not?
봤는데요.
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do. At first, nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
연구실?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
어, 그러게.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
어.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
뭔데요?
What? As I expected. After all, their connection to the Freya case is minimal, at least at the surface.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
뭘까나. 비밀 연구물?
That's not it.
That's not right. That's not right.
미안해.
That's not right.
The 5 missing family members standing together
아,
as a
그러게.
single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
똑똑하다.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangled Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
I made a decision.
There was only one person at Tangled Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something. Something from the era of Misted Mansion.
이거?
So, where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangletower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Ah, well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Ha! It carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to
다
gold.
알려주네.
But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
그 이야기가 어떻게 되는 건데? 프레야 펠로우의 유언. 뭐 무서워.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
여기 있지?
That almost makes sense, but it's not right.
요거.
That's not right.
아니야? 뭐야 그러면?
That's not it. 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 That's not it.
어레레.
That's not it.
이건가? 아,
That's right.
맞다 맞다.
I had
이거다.
assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered It was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangled Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free
Fiona.
Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangled Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangled Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance.
유산이 뭐라고 참.
That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
아, 큰일 났다. 큰일 났대요. Oops.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room. But by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind.
Oh.
I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone.
그럼.
So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
생각보다 엔딩이 허무하군. 도전 과제나 달성해야지. 잘 가라. 아트 갤러리 열렸네.
Well, now I think this.
아, 여기서부터 이렇게 시작하는구나.
Penny.
It's Penelope. Before I'm afraid I have to insist.
안돼. 이거 어떻게 뒤로 가기 누르지 그러면? 꺼야 되나? 아, 끄고 다시 켜자. 아, 재밌네. 아, 근데 이 도전 과제 어떻게 달성하지? 이미 나는 달성할 수 없는 건가? 와, 컨셉 아트 진짜 예쁘다. 와. 와, 진짜 너무 좋다, 이런 아트북. 너무 좋은데? 거대 테라리움. 아, 스케치가 끝내준다. 와, 이 버전은 귀엽다. 그러니까 이 머리카락 프레임이 제일 크더라. 부탁이니까 가능한 자주 플로라를 찾아가서 말을 걸고 확인해보세요. 그치 많이 봐줘야지. 열심히 그렸는데. 재밌다. 못 만나나?
Let's not wander off right now. Let's not wander
그러네.
off.
이거 도전 과제를 하려면 처음부터 해야 되네, 결국에는. 아, 아쉽다, 아쉬워. 도전 과제 빨리빨리 할 거. 내가 이거를 늦게 봐가지고. 그리고 플레이가 이렇게 진행될 줄 몰랐네. 아, 탱글타워 재밌었다.